this a little closer. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. First thing I want to say is this. Um, Shout out to the Coney Island Sharks. They are the organization over here that we follow. They youth football league, youth football team. They're part of a nice league. They're the organization that we're following. That's our home team. As y'all already know, I have been trying to get us involved in something on that level previously. I thought it was going to be basketball. At least that's what we was trying to angle for, but we weren't able to get a thing created because it took more. It would have taken more than just me to try to organize something around here, and very sadly to say, there was like a whole campaign. Like the kids didn't want it, so we can't do it. Right? Let's just say it like that. The kids didn't want it. So shout out to the Most High, very dropping this into our lap. Just blessings upon blessings. Literally, all we have to do is show up and film. Literally, that's all we have to do. Anything more than that is extra. We plan on doing extra. If we're not able to do extra, it's still okay because all we're supposed to do is show up and film. But we're going to try to do extra because we the BBN. So we're going to try to do as much as we can as we acquire more resources and opportunities show up. We'll be able to do that and we'll get more things made. Shout out to the Most High. It's regretful that we weren't able to do the basketball thing. Very regretful. But we're doing the football thing now. So I'm very happy about that. With that being said, today's video will be about Israel Palestinian war. Apparently, there is a lot of misinformation that have been coming out. I'm going to discuss some of it. Mainly because some of the misinformation that has been coming out is stuff that we've heard over here and we've discussed. So we're going to discuss some of the alleged misinformation coming out because one of the things that Germany showed everybody during World War II, that propaganda was extremely important. So what you have to understand is there's always propaganda coming out, especially during wartime and especially when we're dealing with okay, so think about it like this. We vote our politicians into office in America, right? So it's important for our politicians to have the support of Americans, the majority, in order to stay elected and wherever the constituency falls under for what they're running for, correct? So when we have a politician that is doing something that's factually goes against what the majority wants, that can hurt a politician's ability to continually get elected. So what foreign nations would do, like if they were going to attack America and they wanted to do it using propaganda, what they'll put out is information that would make for the people of America to believe that their leaders are lying, correct? And America will put out the same type of information or attempt to put out the same type of information against, whoever the rivals are, the opposition is, in our media, to keep the people on their side, and in whatever other media they can get it involved in, correct? So they can get sympathy for them, correct? So I just want to just explain that so individuals that might not think it's important understand how important it actually is. The Cold War was mostly just propaganda between America and Russia. Pardon me, America and Russia. Also, we want to talk about James Harden. So real quick, let's get to a couple of the things that they're saying might not allegedly be true. One is this. Apparently, the Turkish leader, remember we were speaking about this the other day. I said, yo, there's countries down there that they're not too happy with what Israel is doing, and there's a good chance over there is that they're going to get involved in this war. And there's this one president, and he said that if it don't stops, he's going to put a stops to it. Remember we was talking about that shit just the other day? And anyway, that's not necessarily what is now being reported that the guy actually said. What he said is that he wanted peace. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is so important to me. Because once again, I want that, or I think that that should be the overarching theme involving everything, is that peace is what's important. Often over here, I say, or I repeat, God hates violence. Right? It says it in the Bible. God hates violence. Right? And it also says that God hates when we speak negatively. Right? He doesn't like that. All words that we come out should be filled with kindness, and we should have empathy for the person in which we're speaking to and for. But more importantly, one of the most important aspects of a man is to be peaceful and want to bring peace. Because when you are peaceful and you're bringing peace, all of those things that God is saying that he want ain't happening. Now, God says he doesn't like when people speak negatively. What you think propaganda is usually? Okay, I back up off of that one. The reason in which I'm explaining it, and I'm explaining it as slowly as I am, is this. And for this one reason. What we have to understand is the reason why I keep saying we want peace, we want peace, we want peace. It's the same reason why I keep telling you we don't know what's going on over there. We don't have the slightest idea. I'm still waiting to see a baby with a head cut off. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm just saying. They were never able to produce that information, were they? So, we don't know what's going on over there. The Turkish leader actually said that he wanted peace. He was using his ability to create propaganda to express what side of this conversation his country is on in order to force Israel to rethink their perspective. That's basically what happened. That's why we're also talking about propaganda. He did not say if it doesn't stop, he'll make it stop. He did not say that they would send military to get involved. He didn't say that. Talking about the Turkish guy. He didn't say that. But what he did say is that he stresses that there's peace. Now, I heard something else along the same lines, and this sounds a little bit more like it could be possible. Allegedly, China is sending some of their fleet So a couple of days ago, what three nations that I said we had to worry about? What two nations specifically did I say that, the world would have to worry about the most if they decided to get involved? Somebody came in here talking about World War III. So that became a conversation. And in that conversation, basically there has to be more, currently, you know, what's considered to be going on in Ukraine is just the Russian-Ukrainian war. What's considered to be going on in Israel is the Israeli-Palestinian war, because those are the primary forces that's engaged. You don't have other countries also sending their primary forces to be engaged. They might be sending little people here, little people there to go get involved in this and this and that and lend some support. But they're not sending whole fleets. See, what you have to understand is that there's always conflict going on in the world. Like there's not no time that there's not conflict, fam. There's always conflict. Whether the conflict be espionage based, or whether the conflict be guerrilla warfare in some jungle, or whether the conflict just, be some, I don't know, computer shit. There's always conflict going on in the world, fam. So, you can't have any Chinese, what application is it? It's an application from China. It might be TikTok. You can't have it on any government issued phone. You can't have TikTok on any government issued phone. Can I say something real quick? Isn't this something like what Trump wanted to do, and Democrats was calling him xenophobic? Right? Am I wrong about this, or am I right about this? When Trump was like, we got to stop China. When Trump was doing that shit. Am I wrong, or am I right over here? When Trump, I'm tired. I'm not trying to bring up Trump all the time. But every time the Democrats do some weirdo shit, it's usually some shit that they was complaining Trump was trying to do, and convinced a lot of y'all that Trump was wrong for trying to do it. And then they turn around and they do the same damn thing when they get the opportunity. So I don't understand this shit. And I don't understand why y'all trusted them. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So my fault. I don't be trying to go off on shit sometimes. It's just that it's absolutely bonkers to me how often this happens. Like with the wall. Remember? Trump was like, let's build the wall. And the Democrats was like, he's crazy. They laughed at him for months and months and months and months. He started building the wall. They called him xenophobic. Then all of a sudden, he loses in the election. He's not reelected. Biden wins the election. What's one of the first things they do? Put more money up there to build more of the wall. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, China sending troops, allegedly, to aid the Palestinians. Russia sent, 17 tons? I forgot how many tons they said they sent of aid. Turkey also sending aid, Palestinian aid. Just so we could be clear. So we was talking about world wars, and I was trying to explain to people we've basically been in World War III for a couple of years now. We've been in the preamble. The real deal actually should be signified as breaking out when Hamas attacked Israel. Up until then, we had the Ukrainian war, but that wasn't a world war yet. See, Ukrainian is so far inland. The Ukraine, is so far inland. There's not but so much America could do to get over there that isn't going to be able to, for the, Russia to see way before they get there and be able to, shoot attacks. Also, Russia said they're not playing with you. If you go over there to the Ukraine, fam, it's going to be a problem. For everybody that don't know, the Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union. So they used to be part of Russia. So Russia just deems itself taking back its own land. That's what Russia deems itself as. I'm not saying who's right in this situation. I'm not saying who's wrong in this situation. But I will say this. The Ukraine elected a comedian to be their president. That guy, he was a comedian before he was a president. I don't know how the whole story go, but it's something like that. So I don't know what to tell you. Who are the main people that's involved? Who are the main institution over here that helps Hollywood? The Democrats, correct? That's the main. But all of our political forces, who are the main individuals or who is most commonly aligned with Hollywood? The Republicans or Democrats? All right, so let's slow up for a second because we're talking about China. So the Turkey situation might be misinformation. I don't know about the Chinese situation. China might be sending people over there. I'm seeing all over the news where people are talking about why would China go help the Muslims if they got their own Muslims in their own country that they've got in detention camps and all of this other shit. I'm starting to not to know what to believe. Remember, we was discussing propaganda. I'm going to say something real quick. You know the Hamas, right? They're basically ISIS. They're basically Al Qaeda. You do know this, right? You do know this. Did you hear how people live in Palestine? That in Palestine, a Jewish person could just go to anything you own and claim it as their own? Now, I'm 100% sure that there's many people who are of the Jewish faith that would never do that to another human being. Just like I'm 100% sure that there's many people of the black of our race here in America, you know, just so we could just say it like that so everybody can understand who I'm encompassing, that would never just shoot their own brother for no reason. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some who would. So you're trying to tell me these people that y'all call ISIS, that y'all call Al Qaeda, right, are basically people who are born in prison? Because it's an open air prison over here in Gaza Strip. So basically, these are people that was born in prison. So there's a lot of misinformation coming out about this particular situation. And if there's a lot of misinformation coming out now, what do y'all think was happening in the 1990s? What do you think was happening in the 1980s? What do you think was happening in the 1970s? What do you think was happening in the 2000s? What do you think was happening? You think in those periods of time we were getting all the real information? It's just now they're lying? I think they're just lying now. Like all of those other times they was telling the truth. Shout out to J Max, salute. All them other times they was telling all of the truths. It's just this time. It's just this time. Let's be a little bit let's say shit that makes sense. Now sometimes we just say shit that don't make sense. We don't do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? We think it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on. It's like, you know, we doing that football thing, right? With the kids. So a person trying to lie to them on me might go to them and be like, yo, he's a scammer, right? not understanding or not realizing that because they came and got me, and because I basically really didn't ask for any type of money at all or anything, how could I be scamming anybody? And also, since all I got to do is show up and go live, and that's what I've been doing, I'm literally doing the thing that you didn't even ask me to do, the thing that I told you I was going to do without even being asked. I'm just doing it. How could I be scamming? So those people don't understand how crazy what they're saying is. They don't understand how now the individuals that they told that to should be looking at them. Like, that doesn't enter their brain. So when these people have been lying to us for all of these years, and we've been eating it up, and they know that they've been lying to us because we didn't have the requisite information to be able to make the appropriate decisions. But now the internet exists, and it exists in a form that they can't control it. And since it exists in a form that they can't control it, now we can get requisite information on things. You see, why they was lying to people that made it so I couldn't show that I was telling the truth, that I couldn't show my value, then they could win. But you can't lie to people who I get the opportunity to show my value to. You understand? You only can lie to the people who won't give me the opportunity to show my value. You can't lie to the people who I have the ability to show my value to. You can't lie to them. Well, you can lie, but the ability for it to work is significantly less. So all of these years, people have been believing that ISIS this, Al Qaeda that. Now what do y'all think about the Twin Towers? But that's a whole nother conversation. J Max says, we living in a time where we could find and learn information on subjects that would have taken years for people to do, 25 to 30 years. That's a fact. Also, we living in a time where there's so many people that they can't deny, like they want people to know their bad deeds. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're literally living in a time where we got individuals that are doing some of the most heinous, terrible things, and they don't want to do it in anonymity. They need for people to be able to piece it together so they can get that clout. We're living in that era, fam. So you literally got people out here doing the most terrible, dishonest, harmful, negative things in the world, and then they're cheering like they're celebrating. I seen on Instagram, and I couldn't even believe when I saw this. This has to be one of the most disgusting things, if not the most disgusting thing I've ever seen on Instagram. They had an Israeli lady putting a post up and making fun of before. I shouldn't have visualized it. They had an Israeli lady making fun of Palestinian mothers that were losing their babies. I've seen some terrible things in my life, and I've seen some people do some terrible things. It is what it is. But to celebrate the death of a baby and the sorrow of a mother for losing her baby, God says we should not speak negatively, and we're supposed to want peace. What up, Open Aim? We're supposed to be compassionate, even to our enemies. We're supposed to pray for the souls of our enemies, man. What up, Nisi? She said the devil is here. I said that shit yesterday, fam. I couldn't believe when I saw that shit. She had like more than one. And I guess from what I'm hearing, it's a trend over there. I just happened to just see like the one lady that was doing it. But apparently, like, it's a trend. Like, it's a trend. And I'm looking at the rest of the world. Like, these Palestinians been living in this open air prison for all of these years. Is there something about the war we don't know? Did something happen during the war that we don't know? Is there some history that happened that we don't know? We need to know why these people were subjugated to this. Because this sounds like more than just giving Jewish people Israel, the land of Israel. It sounds like more than just that. That's all I'm saying. The president of Egypt in 1956, President Nasser, said in a speech, the Jews left black and returned white. He was referring to Israel. Yep. But once again, I need to know what the Palestinians did to deserve. Is there a part of history that we don't know about? So this country, Palestine, what the fuck? That's what it's called, right? When it's called Palestine, right? So they're just there. World War II breaks out. Germany does all of this other weirdo shit, right? The Nazis, they just don't got no sense, right? But after the war's over, they don't take Germany. Why don't you just move the Palestinians to Germany then? And throw the Germans out. I need to know why this happened to the Palestinians. I'm just curious. Why didn't they just move the Palestinians to Germany? It was like, yo, look, niggas, that niggas gotta move. We sorry about this shit, but we gonna give you Germany. It is what it is. Why did they have to go into camps and shit? I need to know why. Like, look, man, we're giving this land back to the Jewish people. We're gonna give you Germany though, because them niggas don't know how to act. I need to know why. That's all I'm saying. Because somebody explain that shit to me. Just explain that shit. Should that make sense? In any regard. Another thing that has come out to not necessarily be correct also is allegedly no high up political or military mind tweeted out that they're the ones that shot the hospital. No one did that allegedly. Now allegedly that was a tweet that somebody just made up that never really happened. J Max says, I personally think it was the powers that behind the scenes wanting to see Bible prophecy play out. Makes sense to me. That would be people wanting to make God will play out. I'm with those guys. I'm sorry. If you want God's will to play out, me and you on the same team. I'm not trying to prevent God's will. Sometimes God's will is harmful and it hurts us. It is what it is. Sometimes it's because something else got to happen and we just in the way. It's God's will. I'm okay with God's will happening, even if that means that stuff isn't gonna happen good for me. It is what it is. That's part of humility. You understand? I don't think people get it. Other day I was in here, we was talking about something. Give me 1 second, I want to explain this. So the other day I was in here and I was talking about something and I said, if you try to holler at a shorty and she not digging you or whatever the case is, you should accept that as God's protection. Y'all might both be good people. Don't get this confused. But y'all might not be good for each other. that might not be somebody that's good for you. That person might be for someone else, and you might be for someone else. You understand what I'm saying? So this is nothing to do with they might be a bad person, or you might be a bad person. That just might be God protecting either one or both of you. So what people don't understand is, and that's why sometimes when you try to force those situations, what end up happening is now you're talking about you got a crazy girlfriend, she talking about she got a crazy boyfriend, y'all don't shit don't happen, y'all think everything in the beginning is lightning and explosives, and after like 3 weeks that shit died down next to this person is seeing that. Anyway, point being, we should be wanting God's will to happen. Just in general, that should be the main thing. God's will happening. Period. We want God's will to happen. We hope to be on the right side of that energy. And that's why we try to do goodwill in our lives. That's why we try to do good things in our lives. So we're on the right side of that energy. That's why you want to be in tune with the Most High. Get it? But yeah, it might be people trying to get Bible prophecy to happen. Maybe that's why they did that shit. I don't know. You know what Hamas mean in the? Yeah, I know what Hamas means in the in like ancient in Latin or some shit like that. You know what Hamas means? It means violent. Yeah, apparently, it means violence. Yeah, and there's a prophecy that says something about the end of times is gonna come when the violence returns to Israel, when the Hamas returns. This is what just some shit that said, fam. Just I'm telling you it. I didn't make it up. So it is what it is. I mean, there's just certain things that we deem sacred, and the safety of children is one of them. I'm got a record of this morning. They said something like 5,000 people is gone. So, like 15,000 are injured. 15,000 injured. About 5,000 gone. J Max says, from what I heard, it says in the Bible that people will come to Israel who will be imitating the original Jews and will reestablish Israel. I'm going to say something real quick because people talk about a lot of this shit, but you do know that Jesus literally says, and it says in the Bible in multiple places, that as long as you follow the laws of the Most High is going to be there for you. So even if you are not of the tribe, one of the child of Israel, if you are following the Most High's laws, the Most High is going to be there for you. That's the problem we have in the hood. People don't want to have follow any faith. It's not even, notice, I'm not saying religion. They don't want to have any faith. They don't want to believe in God. They don't want to treat people kindly. They don't want to do just the basic things that God said to do, and that will bring you good tidings into your life. They don't even just want to. I got people that follow me around when I go outside, fam. I can't even express this enough. How crazy that is. Look, so basically, if you follow doctrine, so it don't matter who. That's the problem we have. And when I say we, I don't mean black people in general. I mean we, human beings. That's a problem that we have. We don't realize that it doesn't matter what tribe you come from. It don't matter what your lineage is. If you're following the words of the Most High and preaching the doctrine of that God once preached, you'll be accepted into the kingdom of heaven. Period. That's why I keep trying to tell people, stop trying to divide us along race lines. when we're talking about earthly things, we sometimes have to mention race so we can give a better understanding and contextualize what we're speaking on. Yes, because that's a variable. J Max says, but it also says that the new Israel will be destroyed from what I heard. The Bible says everything is going to be destroyed, basically, except, so, I mean, we got to expect for this stuff to happen, right? The world is going to be destroyed, but this time it's going to be by the hands of man, and it's not going to be from the hands of God, right? Because he said he's not going to destroy the world no more after the floods of Noah, right? He had to flood Noah because of all the Nephilim. We don't need to get into that. But we know why he had to flood the world in that case. And it had so much to do with just things I don't want to talk about. Because that changes the conversation. And I've already changed the conversation far enough from what we are supposed to be discussing. So I don't want to go down that avenue. Well, we at the 36-minute mark. I guess we could talk about whatever we want to talk about right now. I do got something to say about James Harden. Do y'all want to hear the James Harden stuff yet? All right, so let me say a couple of things real quick. I hate when I'm sitting so far away from the armrest because then my arm slides off the damn thing and it always looks like I'm like stumbling and shit. But if I get closer to the armrest, I think I'm too close to the wall and I don't want to be that close to the wall. I also don't want to pull. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on here. All right, so listen, pay attention. I do want to talk about James Harden, but we're going to give it a minute still. Listen and pay attention. Just speaking on this situation. First, just to clear this up, anyone who follows the doctrine that the Most High wants us to follow, accepts Jesus Christ as his one begotten Son, and accepts that you have to follow Jesus Christ to the Most High, and are trying to follow the doctrine, that's the beginning of being able to be accepted. That's what you need to be going for. And that is independent of what your lineage is. Why do you think I keep giving the example of the lady with the daughter? And she wasn't part of Jesus's tribe. She wasn't part of Israel at all. I think I keep giving that example every opportunity I can. Because it's about your faith. It's not about your knowing. It's not about your bloodline. It's about your faith. Period. I probably know just as many people who are not, person who is guys running around saying, you gotta be black or brown to be like, I probably know more people who are Caucasian who I think put forth a concerted effort. And that's just being honest. I know way more black people with a good heart. Don't get this confused. I know way more black people that if they knew the direction to go in, they would. Way more. Not even close. Not even close. I have a relative who, remember when that dude walked up on us and he was trying to tell us, yo, I was Baptist, then I was Catholic, then I was, all that craziness he was talking. I looked at that like one way, but I also looked at it like this. See, when I was growing up, I had a close relative, I'm not going to say who. And initially, when I was like 2-3 years old, I remember going to the church all the time in Harlem. So I think it was Harlem. I don't know. Well, me looking back at the buildings now, they looked at like brownstones or some shit. It could have been anywhere. What the fuck do I know? I don't know Harlem, Bronx, and nothing like that. I'm like 2 years old. I'm just learning how to walk in some of these. I was dumb young. I still remember. So way before school, I was like 2 years before, like at least 2 Christmases before I ever started going to school. So I remember going to, and my relative also being there, to these, shout out to Bertha Taylor. So my stepmother. So I remember going to these churches. You know, they'd be, you walk into a building, like it looked like it's gonna be walking into a basement, but it's not. It's a church, but it looked like you're walking into a basement. It's like brownstones and like Harlem buildings, Harlem brownstones. Anyway, so I don't know where it was though. Once again, I'm like, but you know, that's what it looks like if I was to tell you or try to describe the building to you. In any regard, uh, same relative just grew up and then turned to early teenage years, turned into somebody who followed, you know, changed their name, gave themselves, got a Muslim name, all of that. And it was a 5%. So, same relative then eventually got more information and became a, and got more information and started to understand about us being Hebrew Israelites. So, I was able to see this maturation to a certain degree. I was able to see, you know, because of conversations that I had with this individual, you know, from being forced into going to, I think, you know, the church when we were kids, and so when him having the opportunity to choose what he believed in, and him not thinking that Christianity was enough for him, so he chose to be a 5%er because it made him feel more strength as being a black person. You know, that Christianity didn't give him that strength, that identity. You know, when he became a 5%, it gave him identity. And then when he then became a Hebrew Israelite, you know, and he speaks, knows the Bible real well. Always talks the Bible, knows the Bible real well. Definitely an individual that there was a period of time where me and him just sat around talking about the Bible a lot. You know, I learned a lot. You know, I learned a lot from this individual regarding the Bible, in any regards, and just learning well together. Like even if you know there was things that we might have discussed that I might have got a different perspective of it because I might interpret a part of the Bible a little bit different than he does, because it's all about interpretation. That's why it's important who you discuss the Bible with, because it's about interpretation. And I think that that's another thing that people don't get. God make us go through things so we can interpret shit the way that he needs for us to interpret it when we need to do things. At least that's a perspective that I have. I could be wrong. In any regard, I hate when I go off on something and I forget where we started at. I don't know if they're trying to do any. I'm not going to stand here and speak about uh, Jewish people getting Israel back and all about people being in this land and people being in that land or whatever. God said for us to not be caught up with wars. He told us, you know, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars, but, you know, we are not to take our eyes or our, you know, energy away from the things that he wants us to do. You know, those are just things that's supposed to happen. All right. So just be mindful of that also. I think that sometimes, you know, we're not really too mindful of that aspect. You know what I'm saying? He does say for us not to get too caught up. You know, don't, you know, these don't get too distressed is basically what he's saying. Like, don't be super fearful. Like, oh, it's the sky is falling. We don't got to do that. Because this is, you know, his word. This is something that he's deemed is supposed to come to pass. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Can we talk about James Harden for a moment? I want to talk about James Harden for a moment. So James Harden allegedly isn't showing up for the Philadelphia 76er practices and stuff like that, or team activities. I'm with James Harden on this one, but I'm gonna take a second before I tell you why, so I could just say some things that went on with James Harden first. James Harden got drafted to OKC, the Oklahoma. What the fuck is Oklahoma's name? Thunder. Sheesh. James Harden got drafted by the Oklahoma Thunder. Upon him getting drafted to the Oklahoma Thunder, two things happened I found interesting. The first thing was him being the second to third best player on the team, came off of the bench. He didn't start with the rest of the guys. I often look at that team and think about how incredible they might have been if they all started at the same time, that being Westbrook, Harden, and KD. I often think about how incredible they would be if they all started at the same time. That would have been incredible. But that isn't what they did. They did something else which was also just as interesting, and that was have Harden actually be the sixth man coming off the bench. And what that allowed them to do was Harden come off the bench with the second team, and basically he runs the offense. The offense runs through him, and he can get all of his points because James Harden cares more about stats than he does winning. Also, another reason why I find that particularly interesting, because it sounds like that might be how they had practiced. They practiced with James Harden on the second team going against the starters. That might be how they practice. And that's pretty interesting also, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. So James Harden gets himself traded from the Oklahoma. I forgot who leaves first, if him or KD leaves first or whatever. But at some point, he argues about, wanting to be there. He gets himself traded. He gets traded to, where does James Harden go first? Houston, right? He gets traded to Houston. So I think James Harden gets traded to Houston Rockets. He goes to Houston. He plays there for a couple of years. There's a ton of problems over there. They try to get him help. It doesn't work out. He then campaigns to get traded from there. He gets traded to Brooklyn. He comes here to Brooklyn. It was just a travesty in Brooklyn. The biggest issue is that we had three players who are our top players, and none of them really play any defense. I think that was the biggest issue. I don't know what anybody else is complaining about. Neither one of them niggas play defense, man. We had Kyrie, who I love. He plays defense when he wants to. He's literally like me. He will never. Sometimes he plays defense, sometimes he doesn't. It is what it is, and he's the best defender out of all three of them. Harden plays zero defense because then he can't use that energy on offense, and KD plays zero defense because I think the way KD thinks is as long as he outscores the guy he's playing against, it's not his fault they lost. You understand? I'm gonna say something real quick. This is the issue that I have with playing with these kids in the park. So there's a difference between somebody saying we lost by 2 points. I scored 9. Y'all niggas couldn't score no buckets because you were missing open shots. I'm going to say that again. There's a difference in saying, let's say we play a game that's 16, 20, 16. Let's say I score 9. We lose. There's a difference in me saying, it's a difference in me. I'm going to get to that too, no name. There's a difference in me saying, y'all had open shots. You missed them. It's your fault. I'm not going to say it like that, though, because I'm not going to talk like that. But I'm just saying. There's a difference in me saying that. And in me saying, yo, I had 9. Y'all niggas is bums. But y'all never got an opportunity to score. I never passed you the ball. I took all of the shots. I shot 9 for fucking 30. I shot terribly. I just took all the fucking shots and missed everything. That's a totally different conversation. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that people that think like the way I think KD think is a problem. You scoring more than the guy you're playing against, that doesn't mean that it could still be your fault why the team lost. I'm just saying, and I think that's what I think is the issue I have with KD. Like even now with KD on the freaking Suns, he's talking about, I don't know how y'all gonna guard us. Booker don't play no fucking D. You don't play no defense. Who's the third guy? He plays defense. They got Bill. Is Bill the third guy? Bill plays defense. But KD don't play no defense. Booker don't play no defense. Whoever they are going against, y'all don't play no defense. If this was the fucking 80s, KD would not even be able to be on the court. He could be getting fouled out. If this was the 90s, he'd be getting fouled out. If you get one of those coaches that decide they're going to start fouling out the best player on the other team, we're going to go back to real basketball. Who got KD? We're going to throw that nigga the ball. KD don't got no defense. We're going to throw him the ball and let him work. We're going to give him 3-4 straight shots at a time. We're going to let that fool work. He's going to get early fouls on KD. He can't play no D, fam. He got to get Booker early foul trouble. Throw it to their man. Niggas can't play no defense. Tell me where the lie at, fam. That's the difference between the NBA in the 80s and the 90s and the NBA now. In the 80s and the 90s, you had to know how to play defense to stay on the court. You was going to be on the bench either by fouls or because you're getting cooked. That's the biggest difference. Yes, in New Jersey, they was never able to have all three players. New Jersey. In Brooklyn, they weren't able to have all three players on the same team, on the court at the same time due to injury and a whole bunch of other BS. Due to injury and a whole bunch of other BS. They was never able to have them all on the court at the same time. It just is what it is. So he got his way out of New Jersey. So I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why I don't think he's wrong for trying to force his way out of Philly. So check what the Philly guy did. James Harden and the dude that owns the Phillies, not the Phillies, the 76ers, 76ers, not the Phillies. The dude that owned the 76ers got into an argument, and then James Harden called dude a liar. So you know what dude went and did? So James Harden had a party back when he was in Houston. He had a party. At this party, he had this chick called Shy that he was dating. He was really into her. She shows up to the party with him, but she leaves with a whole nother basketball player. She ends up marrying that nigga. They got kids now. You want to know what the dude that owned Philly did? The fucking Philadelphia 76ers did when James Harden called them a liar? He signed that guy. So James Harden don't want to go to work because the nigga that stole his girl, married her, and gave her babies is now on his team. So that's Harden's issue. The 76er owner, he shouldn't be able to do that shit. Nah, James Harden. You gonna find me money I don't... Find me. I don't do basketball no more. Because I'm not playing under this circumstance. Eat a dick. I don't part of my language. I don't do basketball no more. I got mad money. I've been investing. I'm fine. Matter of fact, I'm going home right now. I'm having hamburgers. I'm retiring. I'm retiring. There you go. Now you just lost the whole asset of a player because you was petty. Not a problem. I'm out of here. Only way that you're going to make anything off of me now is if you sell my rights and I agree to play. What up, Trojan man? Salute. That's it. It's the only way you're going to get anything out of me now. If you sell my rights and I agree to come out of retirement. I'm retired now. And I come straight out and tell the world, look, this dude, and then so y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but I don't want to play into that situation. It sounds like he's trying to make a hostile work environment for me. I don't want to deal with it. So I'm retiring, and I'm not unretiring, so don't trade for me. Y'all better have a long conversation with me before anybody decides to trade for me, because I'm not unretiring. The guy, I believe Harden that he lied because he did that petty shit. Hell yeah, I believe Harden now. That's why I said Harden should want to leave. I believe Harden 100%. How you gonna go do that to a nigga and expect him to come to work? Why? How you? This team that you own that is probably worth over $1 billion now, right? This is your property. It's worth over $1 billion. But you're gonna be so petty that you're gonna go put somebody on the team that one of your best two players can't get along with. So you just don't even want to. You just don't care about this thing. You don't care about the 76er fans. You don't care about the 76er employees. Sounds like you might have lied. James Harden probably right. See, that's the thing. When people make you do, like, you got to understand. People sometimes try to make other people not like you so they can treat you bad. You understand what I'm saying? That's why whenever somebody come to me and start bad-mouthing somebody else, I look at them like, why do I need to know this information? Like, if I need to know the information, okay, but why do I need to know this information? Do I know you? I don't know you, but you just randomly telling me this information? Why? Why are you trying to be so helpful to me for? You trying to be helpful to me, or you trying to be destructive to that guy? What are you trying to do? I don't even know you. Why are you telling me anything about this person? You trying to be helpful to me, or you trying to be destructive to that guy? It sounds to me like you're just trying to be destructive to that guy. I got to know why I'm not doing this. Oh, you just got accusations? Nah, I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm still going to be doing whatever I'm doing over there. All you got is accusations. You don't got no actual proof. Nobody knows actually anything. All you got is maybes and possibilities and somebody said and I heard. That's all of the things that you have. Nah, I'm fine. He said he would pay Harden, then didn't because the super team ain't work. Shady business. I don't think he should have said he was going to pay Harden. I don't think Harden is a guy that you wouldn't chip with. I think Harden should be the number 2 option on that team at all times behind who they sent him? Before I fucking call him by the wrong name. I think he should be behind him. Number 2 option at best. Harden is not a number 1. Harden can't carry nobody to nothing. I'm sorry. He's not that guy. Harden wouldn't even be in the league in the fucking 80s and the 90s. I don't care how incredible you think his moves are now. Because he wouldn't have those same moves in the 80s and the 90s. You know how many other moves had to come along before Harden would be able to even have the imagination to put those moves together to have the moves that he currently has? He wouldn't even be able to play in the 80s and the 90s. You know how physical they are? This is a soft-ass fucking league. And he can't take the pushing and shoving now. Think he was going to be able to play with Charles Oakley, Dennis Rodman, Bill Lane Beer, Rick Mahorn? He would have been able to play with those guys. He wouldn't even have been. Let me name some short guys he wouldn't have been able to play with real quick. Just so we can understand just how serious the fucking 80s was. 80s and... you think he would have been able to play? He probably wouldn't have been able to play against a fucking John Stockton. These guys was... Go hear stories about John Stockton, fam. Hold on. You think he would have been able to play against Isaiah Thomas? Them niggas was throwing punches every 5 minutes, fam. Them guys was ready to fight. They was playing dirty. He playing this soft ass league now. You think he would have been able to play back then? That's why I keep saying. You want to know why Steph Curry could never be the greatest point guard of all time? Because he can't play in all eras. Magic Johnson could play in all eras. Isaiah Thomas could play in all eras. Curry can't play in all eras. And the proof of that is they had to literally change the rules so he would stop getting injured in order for him to be able to do what he's doing. And that's the thing everybody keeps acting like didn't happen. It changed the rules, fam. Remember, he was getting hurt all the time because it was still too physical. Everybody forgets about that. They changed the rules so there'd be a less contact and there'd be more space. Sheesh. Everybody act like they don't know that happened. Diggy, dude, you think you put Mitch Richmond in the NBA right now, he'd be wearing scoring titles every year. He'd be the best player in the league. If you put prime Mitch Richmond in the league right now, with every single player at the level that they're at right now, Mitch Richmond would be the best player in the league. A lot of y'all don't even know who Mitch Richmond is because his whole career just was all in basic Sacramento. Nobody cares about those guys. You put Mitch Richmond in the league right now. He was averaging like 26, 27 when the league was like at its most physically impossible to score. And when scoring was down, if he's scoring 26 points a game, 27, 26 points a game, and the league is averaging like 87 points a game, fam. You know the percentage of points he's scoring more than... That's the part people don't get when they keep saying people could better scorers now. They're not better scorers now. They were better scorers then. Way better. It was harder to score. If somebody was averaging 17 points, if somebody is averaging 17 points, just so we could be clear, if somebody is averaging 17 points in 1990, 1993, 1994, what you think they would be averaging now? Where you can't touch nobody and the floor is wide open. What do you think they would be averaging? Just, what do you think they would be averaging? 30? And just so we could be clear, Scottie Pippen's career scoring average is like 16 points. Y'all swear Jordan couldn't win without a guy that his career scoring average was 16 points. What you mean depends on which players we talking about? No, Greek Freak could play in the 80s and the 90s. He could play in the 70s. Nah, he real for real. He could play in the 70s, fam. He could play in any generation. He could play in any era. He could play in any era. But Mitch Richmond would still average. He would still be the best player in the league if he was in the league right now. Which I don't understand is Mitch Richmond was damn near the closest thing to Jordan for like 2 to 3 years. As far as how he was killing niggas with his moves, with his ability to play offense and defense, he was the closest thing to Jordan for like 2 to 3 years. People just don't know because he was stuck in Sacramento. Mitch Richmond was a beast. People just don't know. He was stuck in Sacramento. This is what I like about Wembanyama, the guy from the Spurs, the new tall dude. One, I'm happy that he plays in a fashion that isn't going to get him hurt. Okay, I'm going to say this. Do y'all remember when, who's the tall dude that the Knicks went and got? He came to the Knicks. He was wearing number 6. He was like from another country. He was foreigner. He was super tall. Right? I forgot his name. Anyway, so he came over here. They was calling him a unicorn. He came over here. But the way that he played, Porzingis, appreciate you, Toombs. The way that he played, he didn't play to not get injured. He took, like, trying to show he was big, tough, and he could take the pounding. He did things that was unnecessary, in my opinion. You understand? So he didn't play to not get injured. Homeboy is playing to not get injured. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so I saw him do this twice, and I was like, He came down at the end of the fast break. He's at the top of the fast break. He gets to the basket, and he waits for the guy to jump past him before he jumps up and makes the easy dunk. The reason why this is something to me is he's 7'7" or some shit. He could have just dunked the ball even with the guy jumping up to try to stop him from dunking the ball. But instead, he let the guy go past and avoided all of the contact, which would have been unnecessary. You understand? So he's playing in a purposeful way to stay away from injury. So seeing that, I can say, no, I see big things for dude, because the only thing that can hurt him is injury in my mind. Another thing that I see, I don't know. I think I might want to put him in, and I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure he's fine, but I might want to put him in preemptive gear, like something on his knees and ankles. I know his ankles is taped, but like on his knees, preemptive. You understand what I'm saying? Probably put some padding on his knees, legs, to, preemptive, to prevent, preventative measures, you know what I'm saying, for the injury, because of the way he's moving. But he seems to move and play in a manner to prevent the injury. He's not going to get hurt. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that I think he can even play harder. His potential is through the damn roof. I couldn't even believe what I was watching, fam. I saw the dude cross the one guy over. Then he nutmegged the other nigga. I was like, what the fuck? Not in the same play, but I was just like, sheesh, fam. I seen him cross one dude over, and then he was playing defense on homeboy from Washington, the Canadian dude. He used to be on, I think, Minnesota or whatever the case is. So he's playing defense on him, small forward, right? He really, really smooth game. And homeboy is doing all of this mixing. And then he finally gets to where he's going to, Wiggins, and he finally gets to where he's going to take a shot. And he literally took the shot, and homeboy's feet was still on the floor, I think. And then he jumped. So he was so tall, he is so tall, that he can wait for you to actually shoot and release the ball before he jumps up to block it. He doesn't have to jump when you jump. I don't know how people is. And what that means, for everybody don't get it, he don't got to step up on your handle. That's why Wiggins was doing all of that shit and it didn't matter. Because he's so tall, he can give you room and he can step back away from you because he can get up to the apex fast. You understand? You can't shoot over the top of him, so he doesn't have to step up on your handle, so your handle is insignificant. It don't matter. For the people that didn't get what I was saying. Sheesh, no, he looks special. He looks special. He looks special. I'm sorry. He looks special. Oh, Richard Jefferson said the same thing I said? Salute. Dude just tossed that joint up high as heck. There's a trick to shooting over taller players. I don't think it'll work with him. I said the exact same thing. Dude, I keep trying to tell you I'm good at this. Could I take a break to talk about something real quick? It's also sports. We got a sports team over here that's our team that we cover, and that's the Coney Island Sharks. I really will. It really will help if when we're showing when we have game day or when we're doing coverage for the practices or whatever the case might be. If y'all could come in here and drop some comments for them young kids, them boys, they trying their hardest. We got the cheerleaders out there. We got the young kids out there. They watch these videos when we put them on live. It'd really be really nice if y'all could come into the comment section, throw some comments out there for what we're talking about. Give them some big ups. We got to encourage our kids to want to do something else with their lives instead of just wanting to be out on the street doing nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We got to try to encourage them to chase a dream of theirs, at least. So please, whenever we are, like, even if you could only drop in for 2 seconds and drop one comment, even if it's only, hopefully say something like nice, but even if it's just the frost, we'd appreciate that. But please, or football or something, just please show up. I had one of the kids' father in the chat the other day. It was dope. He made a comment, but the thing got messed up, and then we came back. We had one of the kids' parents in here. Look, when I'm doing this, we got kids now, they might have relatives in California now that could watch them play. They might have relatives in wherever. They might have relatives that's just in the Bronx. You understand what I'm saying? That might want to see them play. Let's motivate these kids. Let these kids know that they could be stars, or that they are stars. Pardon me. Remember, whatever we are that thing before we have the opportunity to show the world that we are it. Remember, no matter what the thing that we are that thing, even before we get the opportunity to show the world that we are that thing. Trojan Man says, what do I think about USA basketball aggressively pursuing Jrue Holiday? I don't know. I think that they should be aggressively pursuing any players they think is going to help them win gold. They think he's going to help? I'm here for it. What the fuck do I know? That says a lot, though, being that, is you saying that because Milwaukee traded Jrue Holiday in order for them to get Dame? You think they should be pursuing Dame instead of Jrue? Jrue plays better defense. Dame Lillard, 100% will work, and he would 100% be a good player in the 70s and 80s. 100%. 100%. Jrue Holiday would be rated higher than him in the 80s and the 90s. Pardon me, not 70s and 80s and the 90s. Because Jrue could just play defense. He's just really good at defense. He would just be rated higher than him. Yeah? Jrue Holiday plays defense. Okay? So that's why it would make sense. I keep trying to explain to y'all the biggest difference between, the old basketball and new basketball, old NBA and new NBA, is the ability to play defense. That's also the biggest difference between the NBA and FIBA, or the NBA and international play. In international play, they're allowed to play defense, man. They're not allowed to play defense in America. Trojan Man say, I'm saying someone is getting left off the team like Dame. I didn't freaking acknowledge that, Trojan Man. I literally brought up Dame in the conversation. Are you here with us? You do know how we have these conversations, right? I love you, Trojan Man. But you know how we have these conversations, right? I literally brought up the fact that it sounds like they're not going to have Dame on the team if they have Jrue on the team. That's what I was alluding to. No, I don't think Dame is going to be on the team. That's what I was alluding to. I would have loved to have Jrue Holiday, but I like what we're doing right now. That's not where I would like for us to get better at. With all due respect. I'm not even sure where I want our players to get better individually. I think that's the one thing that keeps the Knicks down. We don't develop our players well enough. Our players don't develop well enough. I keep saying, when you draft somebody to the Knicks, they got to be, go chase the players that want to have a wife and kids. Go chase the players that want to do that. Don't chase the players that want to be out in the club and want to party. Don't chase those guys. Go chase the mofos that want to have a wife and kids and that want to stay out of the clubs and the bars. You know, it's an occasional thing. Like, I'm not against going to a club or a bar, but it's more of like an occasional thing. It's not something I want to do 5 days out the week. It's not even something I want to do 7 days out the month. You understand what I'm saying? If it was for work, then yeah, I'm gonna go do it. It's work, but like it's not even something I want to do 7 days out the month. Toon says, but I'd go once a week. Let's say I'm dating somebody and we got to go on dates. So we're going to go on dates 3-4 times a month. And a couple of those times it's probably going to be somewhere where there's some loud music playing where we can vibe and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But just going out just to be out, no, that's not my thing. I'm not knocking nobody that it is though. Now we don't need Drew, but him going to Boston sucked. Yeah, I don't want that. I like Brunson. We don't need Drew. We get with Brunson. Yeah. I don't want to get rid of Brunson. Oh, you talking about him going to Boston? You know, that sucked. That sucked. Yeah, but because they trying to get somebody that could compete with it's all about helping damn LeBron James win another title. They trying to get somebody to make it so that the damn Bucks don't make it to the finals. That's all. Yeah, I don't like being around all those. That's all. They just trying to make it so the Bucks can't get to the finals, fam. Because we already know that if you want to put it in One Piece terms, we already know that Giannis's hockey. You gotta watch One Piece. Giannis has stronger conquerors hockey than LeBron James. You got to watch One Piece to understand what I'm talking about. I think the Lakers going to beat the Nuggets tomorrow night. No idea. But I don't think the Lakers are going to the finals. But I do think the NBA is going to try to help them the most. Go check and see which team got the least fouls called against them in the last 2 or 3 years. It's going to be the Lakers. The Lakers get the least fouls called against them. And they get the most fouls called for them. Street clothes. For everybody that don't know who Street Clothes is AD. Anthony fucking Davis. That's Street Clothes. Yeah. Yo, do you be seeing the Instagrams where they be showing Anthony Davis playing as the Lakers and he gotta watch his own player get injured? Nigga was playing, he was using the Lakers, and he got injured. It was like, fam, it ain't that bad. It's that bad. Yeah, so Giannis's conquerors hockey is a lot stronger than LeBron James, and nobody else on that team has what I would call conquerors hockey. If you watch One Piece, you know what I'm talking about. And Dame has conquerors hockey on top of that. If you watch One Piece, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You watch One Piece, No Name? Why do I think No Name is really a troll in here with No Name so he could talk to me and then be like, see, we would have had a good show together if you would talk to me. Nope, I'm not dealing with no people that hated on me. I don't care. I don't care what I could benefit. I like that they have it that there's a minimum amount of games you could play to win any awards in the league nowadays. So if you don't play a certain number of games, you can't win any awards now. It's like 60-something games. You have to play like 62, 64 games or something like that in order to be up. 62. Boom. I got it right. In order to be able to win any league shit. And I'm happy they did that because one of the things that people leave out is that while Michael Jordan was winning all of those awards, he was playing 82 games a year. He was playing 82 games a year. He was playing every game and then winning all the awards. LeBron James just sits out and be just chilling. LeBron James he don't play. LeBron James play like 50 games a year, fam. He play like 50, 55 games a year, fam. He just be taking games off. They be like, LeBron, you gonna show up? He be like, nah, man, I'm taking a foot massage day. Laughing my ass off. Jordan was different. He don't like to lose at all. He don't like to lose at all. He don't even like to lose when he ain't there. Jordan don't like to lose. Dude, you know how terrible it had to be a team in the NBA during the fucking early 90s, late 80s, or during the 90s just in general? You know how terrible it had to be? You know that when you play the Bulls, that nigga playing. And if you're not nice to him when y'all like in street clothes, like, you know, when it's not playing, like if you're not cool with him, he might drop 50 on your team out of spite because this nigga petty. So you gotta be reasonably professional with this nigga. You can't even really be friends with him, but you gotta be professional with this nigga. Because if you got an issue, you're gonna drop 50 on your team. You're gonna definitely lose. Nah, pissed off a nigga had to be, fam. Not pissed off. Just think about that. Also, Scottie Pippen is a top 50 player and average less than 17 points a game. Average less than 18 points a game for a career. You can't tell me that Michael Jordan ain't the reason for that. You think if Scottie Pippen had all of those same numbers but didn't have 6 rings? But if Jordan had all of his numbers, but he didn't have 6 rings, he would still be a top 50. Tell me where the lie at. Who threw Bow Wow Iverson shoes away? I didn't see whatever movie that is you talking about, fam. Whatever movie that is you're talking about, I have not seen it. I need some clarification. They say, and a nigga threw Bow Wow shoes away. What the fuck? Whatever movie that is, I did not see it. One, I know I didn't see it because Bow Wow was in it. I know for a fact I didn't see it. It's like probably one Bow Wow movie I saw. That was an accident. So I know I didn't see the movie. I don't know what you're talking about. Sue the Reaction God says Scottie definitely got his points before him. Not just his points. I'm saying his recognition. I'm not arguing with you, by the way. I'm saying his recognition in general. His recognition in general. You understand what I'm saying? Just our perception of Scottie would be so much different. Okay, so they said Scottie was this and Scottie was that. When he went to Portland, he wasn't all that. And when he was on fucking Houston, he wasn't all that. I know when he was on Houston, he was at the end of his career. When he was on Portland, he still had some good years left. He wasn't doing anything. MJ said, get them shoes the F out of here. Oh, he was... Oh, yeah, Iverson's on, so MJ threw them bitches away. Nah, I'm with MJ on that. I love Iverson, and I love his shoes. But you can't go to MJ's house in another nigga's shoes. What the fuck? Unless those are the only shoes you got, you better go to the regular store and get some, like, regular shoes that ain't sneakers. You better go get some fucking flip-flops, get some chicletas. What the hell are you talking about? Let's get some chiclas, go through the fucking thing. Gonna go to Michael Jordan's crib with some other niggas' sneakers on. Nigga better be, like, in a different sport. What the hell? Nah, I haven't been throwing them bitches away, too. You Michael Jordan, give him 2 new pair. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, we're gonna throw them bitches away. I got these 2 new fresh sneakers. Go rock these. And when you see, if you ever see Iverson, tell him what it is. Cause, you know, GOAT. GOAT things. I don't know what to tell you. It's Michael fucking Jordan fan. Yeah, Jordan is super petty. He's all of the pettiness. Wait, so he did that in real life or he did that in a movie? He did that in real life, or I thought you were saying he did that in a movie. He did that shit in real life? Goat things. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Niggas said, get these shits out of here. Not only are they not Nike, they Reebok. We got the Air Jordan technology over here. They got that hexagon technology. Get them shits out of here. Nah, look, man, Michael Jordan is, whether we realize it or not, the most famous person on the planet, okay? Whether we realize it or not, Michael Jordan is the most famous living person on the planet, man. Do you know somebody that don't know who he is? Do we even know of people that don't know who he is? The most famous person on the planet, man. For years. So that was real life? Sheesh, Jordan, fam. I don't know what the GOAT things. I don't know what to tell you. Just GOAT things. GOAT things. I don't know what to tell you. You really threw the niggas' shoes away. I'm going to tell you the thing that kills me. And this is, in my opinion, well, I don't believe, fuck, fuck. Pardon my language. And this is my opinion. I don't know. I have no idea. I hope I did. And this, I did a thing, and then I'm over here thinking I'm fucking me. Anyway, so this is my opinion in which why I don't think Jordan could ever, LeBron could ever be better than Jordan. Listen. I hear everybody that keep talking about Jordan only got 6 rings or whatever the case is, right? One, LeBron James played way more seasons than Jordan. How many rings do LeBron James got? Wow. 2, I keep hearing Jordan couldn't win until Scottie Pippen got there. Okay, stop. Jordan had to mature as a player. Like the majority of other players that enter into a sport, they have to mature as a player and learn how to win. Also, 2 legendary teams existed. 3 legendary teams existed during Jordan's first couple of years in the league. The Showtime Lakers, the Bird Celtics, and the Isaiah Thomas Bad Boys Pistons. So when people are saying he didn't win until Scottie got there, that's disingenuous. That's not fair. You're acting like that was a cookie. That was no one in the league. We had 3 of the greatest teams of NBA history in the league. Just so we could be clear. Okay, so another reason. When you go to Jordan's era, how many players don't got a ring? When you go to Jordan's era, how many players don't got a ring? You know how many you know how many great players don't got, I don't know why she said Kobe. You know how many great players don't got a ring? Great players. Barkley, Malone, Stockton, Ewing. Great players. Not good. Clyde Drexler. Great players. Reggie Lewis. Great players. Don't got a ring? Now go to LeBron's era. Fucking everybody's getting a ring. Iverson. Everybody gets a ring in fucking LeBron's era. You get a ring. You get a ring. You get a ring. Yeah, Kobe, great. Absolutely. But I was naming people who didn't have a ring. Kobe got a ring, baby girl. Kobe got a ring. You know how many players don't have rings? Gary Payton. Sean Kemp. If Sean Kemp was in the league right... Oh, God. Gosh, damn me. If Sean Kemp was in the league right now, he'd average 40. He'd average 40 and be more loved than every single person that's playing right now. I'm not saying they'd be saying he's the best player, but he'd average 40 and he'd be more loved than every player that's in the league right now. Y'all know Sean Kemp was the Rain Man? No, well, LeBron is a great player. I think it takes away from LeBron that people keep trying to say he's better than Jordan. He's not better than Kobe. He's not better than Kobe. I don't got LeBron over Kobe. So I don't understand none of this shit. How's LeBron better than Kobe? Somebody explain that to me. Hope Zion plays a full year too. I was hoping we can get Zion, but like I said before, I think our players just gotta mature. Our players just gotta get better. That's it. I don't know who we trade. I think our players just gotta get better, and we probably get some bench help. But our players just gotta get better. But if we could get a Zion, I don't know. Maybe I'll give up a Mitchell for a Zion. But then could we put Zion at center? I heard Zion's gonna be playing center this year. I don't know, but I don't want to give up Mitchell. I really like Mitchell. Zion can't play the 3. And our current 4, what this guy, I forgot his name, 30. I forgot his name. He can't play the 3. Julius can't play the 3. Our best player cannot be Julius Randle. I agree, but I don't want to trade Julius Randle. I want to get a player that can match with him. I agree. Our best player cannot be Julius Randle. I agree. But who knows what kind of leap our players are going to make this year. Julius Randle might make a big leap this year. He made a big leap last year. He might make another big leap. For Zion, you drive Mitchell to know yourself, Ross. I don't understand what that means. No, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to give up Mitchell. But if we were able to get a trade Zion for Mitchell and Zion is going to play center, that's pretty hard to say no to. Zion's a #1 pick. Both of them niggas stay hurt. Julius can make all-star games, but playoffs, he disappears. He just need that alpha on his team. That's it. When Julius Randle get that alpha on his team, he don't got to be like a great player. He just got to be that alpha. I love Mitchell, fam. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm trying to say if this was a way to move Randle or Zion to the 3, That's a way to go. If you could figure out a way to move Randall or Zion to the 3. I love Mitchell, man. I love everybody on our team. There's nobody I actually want to trade. Like I said before, I think it's about development at this point. No, if RJ plays the way that RJ, hold on. If RJ plays the way that RJ can play and the way that RJ was playing in the international games, he doesn't look like he's going to be a problem. He means he's going to be an asset. But I do agree. Often it looks like, that he's not doing what he could do. He's like he can do so much more than he is actually doing. I think that's what you're trying to say, right? Obi got traded. Obi got traded. He couldn't play the 3. If his jumper becomes consistent, he's dangerous, and he's going to be a perfect person to have next to Julius Randle. I agree. He's scared to shoot the jump shot. I agree. Yeah, I don't want to. He's scared to shoot the jump shot. I agree. He's scared to shoot the jump shot, man. Obi won National Player of the Year during COVID. Yeah, I thought he was. No, the problem is this. I'm going to tell you what the problem with Obi was. I don't think they couldn't. If they keep him, they're hurting his career. They didn't trade him because they didn't want him. They traded him to do him a favor. There was nowhere for him to play. There was nowhere for him to play. If he's playing behind Julius Randle, he's barely getting any minutes. There was nowhere for him to play. That was the issue. That was the issue. I don't think I'm telling you they loved him. I'm telling you the Knicks loved him because I've spoken to people in the organization. This is just a fact. They loved him. This is a fact. Quickly is still here, ain't he? How? He's playing behind Randle. How? Randle's our number 1 player. How are you're not gonna get minutes behind our number 1 player? Yeah, exactly, Trojan man. Salute. Thank you. Thibodeau don't take his guys out. You play the whole game. Thank you. You said it. That was better than what I was trying to explain. There's no minutes. The players have to be developed. That's a fact. I was trying to explain. Appreciate you. He ran the Bulls team into the ground. That's why I believe Rose got injured. Rose got injured. They were up like 25 or something like that with like 3 minutes left in the game. Why was he even playing? Go look it up for everybody that don't believe me. They were up by like 25, 30, something like that. It was like 2-3 minutes left in the game. That's when Derrick Rose got injured. Why was he still in the game? That's the difference between the 80s and the 90s and now. That's the difference. When the game was won in the 80s and 90s, you took out your best players. Nowadays, they leave them in so they could get stats. So all of these guys' stats are inflated. Yeah, that was Thibodeau's downfall. That's a fact. Yeah, Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose was the best player in the NBA at least one of those years. Not just because he won the MVP, but because he was literally just the best player in the league. They had Derrick Rose. Noah was still good. They had Jimmy Buckets. Who else they had? They had a team over there. Who else they had? They had a power forward that was good. I forgot who it was. Because I know Noah was playing next to somebody that was pretty decent. They had a team over there. Boozer, they had Boozer. See, I know. Come on, fam. I used to watch basketball more, but I know basketball, fam. I know sports. They had Boozer. They had a team, fam. They just left dude in the Dang. Luau Dang was a small forward. And that's when Luau Dang was good. This is what I be trying to explain to y'all. Great players make other players great. Great players made other players great. Great players make other players great. You understand? Great. So all of those players became great because they was playing next to Derrick Rose. Great players make other players great. When Derrick Rose got injured, look how everybody else turned out. With the exception of Jimmy Buckets. With the Pistons teams from when? From the Bad Boys Pistons or the Pistons team from that era? Because the Pistons team from that era was the Pistons team with Rashid Lewis. Who's homeboy that was their center? Wallace. I forgot his Ben Wallace. Who else they had? They point guard. What was their point guard name? Who else they had? They had Rip Hamilton. Who else they had? They had who was a small forward? The lanky light-skinned nigga. Tyshawn Prince. Who else they had? They point guard was Chauncey Billups. Who else they had? This is the team you're talking about, right? Or am I wrong? Yeah, this is the team you're talking about? Yeah, no, that was a good team. They went to the chip twice, won once. The defense was absolutely insane. Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer in most people's eyes. Malice in the Palace. Rip Hamilton was a beast. Rip Hamilton is doing what Steph Curry is doing now, where running around the screens, catching the ball and shooting. He just wasn't doing it from the range that Steph Curry is currently doing it at. And they weren't running the ball and relying on him as much. They absolutely messed up when they drafted Darko and Stella Melo. That didn't make any sense. But I know why they did it, though. So it was done for two reasons. So sometimes the NBA draft players and the draft comes out the way that it does, and it's all part of a script. I'm just saying what it is, what I believe it to be. So what I think happened was this. There was a concerted effort to put Melo in the West Coast so he could go up against Kobe Bryant. Because they wanted that, because if he's in the East Coast, he only plays Kobe Bryant twice a year. I think there was a concerted effort to put Melo in the West Coast on purpose so he could go up against Kobe Bryant. I think that's something the league just wanted. Just so we could be clear. That's one reason why I think the Pistons didn't get him. The second reason is this. It's extremely lucrative for an NBA team to get a foreign player, and then that foreign player turns out to be really, really good. Think about it like this. Do you know how Houston, the value of the Houston Rockets changed when they got, what's the dude, the center they had? Yao Ming, do you understand the value of how the value of the team went up? Because now you have all of China are now Houston fans. And for the people that don't believe me, look at the colors of Houston: yellow and orange. I mean, yellow and red. What are the colors of the Chinese flag? So Detroit was getting darko because they felt like they had a good enough team to keep competing. And what they wanted to do was branch out into other markets. And I think darko's French, right? And what color is the Detroit Pistons? And what color is the French flag? Somebody tell me what color the French flag is. Put that in the chat. And what is darko? Is darko French? I don't know what darko is. I'm just asking. Yes, I'm going to go back up. But yes, that's why Jeremy Lin was big for the Knicks, because that helped the Knicks do better in the Chinese market. And that's why he was pushed like that by the NBA and by the Knicks. And that's why Melo that's probably one of the reasons why Melo was pissed. It's happening to him. Anyway. When you understand the politics of all of this shit, and you start talking to people about how one of the best things I ever did with my scholastic career was take up marketing when I went to college. That was one of the best things I did for what I currently do now. If I wasn't doing what I currently do now, it wouldn't bring no real value. You know, I mean, kinda, but not no real value. But because of what I do now, one of the most important things that I did was take up marketing, because that allows for you to understand when you look at some of the things that's happening, not just in sports, but also just in the world, not even anything that has to deal with something that could be purchased. You know what I'm saying? Just, something that could be given effort, energy, and time to. You look at things a little bit different. So yes, I understand why Melo was mad at Lynn, because this was him happening to him the second time that he was having a moment stolen away from him because a team was trying to cater to a foreign market. So I would have been real pissed if I was Melo, especially if that was something he was cognizantly thinking of. That team was tough. They won the chip. I thought that Chauncey MVP authentic jersey, Chauncey Billups was a beast. He just big shot. He just big shots. I didn't get a chance to read that, Nick the Slick. Do you remember the Steve Francis, Catino Mobley days? Steve Francis, very underrated guard. If he was in the league right now, he would be busting so many niggas' asses. It's insane. I think they made, yes, just like they made sure that the Spurs got Wemby. But that was because they need for him to be a success. The NBA needs for Wemby to be a success. Wembyama. They need him to be a success. That's why they gave him this. That's why they sent him to the Spurs. They needed Tim Duncan to be a success. That's why they sent Tim Duncan to the Spurs. Do you understand? They needed these people to be a success. They try those things with the Knicks, but the Knicks player development is not good. You understand what I'm saying? They tried it with Porzingis. It didn't work out. They tried it with couple of players. Porzingis is the biggest one that I could think of that it just absolutely did not work out with. Yeah, it just didn't work out because the player development is terrible. You understand? Players don't come to the Knicks and develop. Like I said before, I want them to stop getting people. Go get the niggas the boring niggas. Stop trying to get the dudes that want to bang on the Instagram models. That's another thing. I don't think we should get Zion because I don't think he'll do good in New York. I think you got to go send Zion somewhere boring. Amari Stoudemire. No, we didn't draft Amari. That will only stand for players that you draft. We didn't draft Amari. No, that's where I'm more concerned about the player development. What players we drafted and how they developed. And just so we can understand the difference, Charlie Ward got drafted by the Knicks, and our player development back then was so much better. Charlie Ward, go check him out. He wasn't even good at any individual thing. He was just a complete package. Like, he wasn't great at nothing. Go check out Charlie Ward. We drafted him. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He wasn't great at nothing, not one thing, but he was a complete package. He says Zion will be at Starlets every weekend. Yeah, we don't need him. Kevin Knox, another perfect example. Thank you, No Name. They wasn't gonna let the Pistons or Houston's get Wemby. No. Maybe I would probably be okay with Houston, but not okay with the Pistons because, like I said, player development. Charlie Ward was a whole football player, fam. That's what I'm trying to explain to niggas. He was a whole football player, fam. He won the Heisman. Only reason why he didn't get drafted into the NFL was because they didn't want to draft players like under like 6 foot. Like, you know, they didn't really want to draft players in the quarterbacks under like 6'2". You understand what I'm saying? They want you to be able to see over the offensive line. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't want you to be short. They want you to be tall enough. Offensive line players is like in the NBA, in the NFL would be like 6'7", 6'5", 6'7". So if you 6'1", how you got to jump up and look over the top of niggas? That's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why offensive line is so important. Because another thing that they do other than prevent, they make lanes for the quarterback to look through to throw the ball. You know, they move those guys out of the way so he could throw through that lane. They move those guys out of the way so he could throw through that lane. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that was like the 6'4" up era for quarterbacks. It's a fact. So that's why Charlie Ward didn't get drafted. Try to take this link. That's why Charlie Ward didn't get drafted. Somebody put our Cash App in the chat. We've been live for like 2 hours. Nobody sent the Cash App. Nobody sent the super chat. Nothing. Y'all not enjoying the conversation? Give some freaking clap for me. I don't know what the clap for me, fam. Sheesh. At least put the damn Cash App up. Trick people into thinking. The hell? My admin ain't making it here today. I had to wait. I had to send out a thing to a person to do a thing. I don't want to talk about it because I can't talk about it. I can talk about it, but I can't. So I get an opportunity to send the thing out today. I was supposed to send the thing out a couple of days ago. I don't know. Maybe we send it out tomorrow. It's a long thing. I would love to discuss it with you, but I can't. I'll discuss it when I get the thing. After the whole thing is over, I'll discuss it. What else y'all want to talk about? I think we're gonna end the show soon. A couple of things we want to get to today, so I think I'm about to end the show. I think I'm about to end the show because there's a couple of things I got to get to today, and I want to make sure I get to it. And we want to try to put out some 10-minute videos today. I just don't know what I guess I just do some updates. Guess I'll do some updates. We might have a mid day live. We do have a footballs today. The kids are practicing today. I got a thing I gotta go do, or I got some stuff I gotta do around here. The kids are practicing today. We might pop up over there. I have to figure out a way to coordinate so he get the cheerleaders on, get the cheerleaders to have some FaceTime also during game day. I was talking to one of the I guess the main cheerleader lady. I think y'all heard me because we was talking on the live, but we're gonna figure out a way to try to get them involved. We're gonna build this. Right now, we're at our infancy with the production that we're doing over there. Shit, I'm by myself at the moment. So right now, we're at our infancy at the production that we're doing over there with the football. We're gonna try to like gradually not just improve and get better and do more things. There's so much more that I want to bring to y'all about this. I want to get to a point where we're just gonna have like our own Hard Knocks, Coney Island. I'm gonna start calling it Hard Knocks. That's what we're gonna start calling it. Because that's what they call it on HBO, right? So we got our own Hard Knocks over here. That's funny. I read that. I read that while it was funny. I tell y'all what this nigga just said. He said Wallow said Coach Prime helmet went slipped off when he went for a tackle because of the girls. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. Wallow's funny for that. In any regard. So we're not gonna be there every practice, but we're going to try to make a couple of practices so we can be better coordinated on game day. So we're gonna try to make a couple of practices. We're gonna try to make the practice today. There's a practice today, Wednesday, and I believe Friday. We're gonna try to make the practice today. What you mean by I don't follow the money violence? Do you? What you mean by that? So I don't know. I don't think that's a show. I don't know. I haven't seen it. DM me a link. Maybe I'll start watching it. DM me a link. So I really appreciate them allowing me to be aligned and be up there doing stuff with them. They're giving me the opportunity to show the liars out to be liars. So they're giving me the opportunity to clear my name. I mean, what more could you ask for? What more could you ask for? They're giving me the opportunity to show that all of the BS that people were saying that they just hate it. Those are really bad people. I don't want to stand up here and argue with you back and forth, but those are just really bad people, and they don't have no good in them, and they don't like seeing good things happen. That's really what's going on. All right, I don't want to stand up here and argue with you over it. Those are really bad people. Like this isn't a I did something to somebody. This isn't a me going back and forth with anybody. That's not what this is. This is shout out to Nick the Slick. He says, shout out to my dude, Frost. Salute. Appreciate you. So I want to say something. So back to what I was saying. So I'm just being clear on this. Shout out to the Coney Island Sharks. Giving me the opportunity to, one, do stuff that I love. And second, to be able to show the world who I am. Instead of the world just believe that I'm somebody that I'm not. So love comes in many different forms. Glory be to God. I gotta go. We gotta get stuff done over here. I love y'all. Everybody just have a blessed day. There's good out there that to be done. Just go do it and stamp God's name on it. There's a lot of obstacles in the world. There's a lot of people that are just not good people. They're just not good people. Just keep that in mind when you're moving through society and people telling you this and people telling you that. There's really just some people that are not good people. They're just bad people. Have a blessed day. Go out there. Find something good to do. Stamp God's name on it. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out. People are just